crafts. I've been making these birthday cards for the sisters in our ward, and I'm the secretary of our women's organization, and my goal for the year is to make a birthday card for all the women in our organization. And I had several scraps left over of the designer series paper. I was using the designer series paper, the 2015-2017, to make this part of the card, and I had all these leftovers, and I wanted to make something like a little gift to give the sisters. So I came up with an idea of a paper pad, and I decorated it with my scraps, and I put some butterflies on it, and I thought this would make a cute, inexpensive gift to give along with the matching card. So I will show you how I did that. Okay, to make this decorated notepad, you're going to need a notepad, and these I got from my local Sam's Club. You can get 24 of these for around $6, and I'm going to put a screen on my video showing you the item number and the price. This is a great project for using your scraps, and I have a scrap here that is 2 1/8 by 5 inches. Now you can, if you use a different size pad, you can adjust the sizes accordingly. So the first thing we're going to need to do is get our scoring board. Now you're going to take your scrap and you're going to put it so that it's lengthwise this way, and you're going to score it 1/8 of an inch from the edge. You don't want to score too hard because then you might go through the paper. And then once you've scored it, you want to bend it back like this, and then you'll take your bone folder and press down your fold. Okay, let me put my scoring board away. Now you're going to take your pad and your 1/8 inch that you just scored, and you're going to take a strong adhesive, I'm using Fast Fuse, and go across the top of your pad. Take your 1/8 inch and slide it underneath, just like that, as far as underneath as you can get it. And you might have to turn it up a little bit to get it to fit under there. Okay, once you have it snug underneath there, you're going to fold it, get it even on the edges, and then you're going to press it down over the adhesive. And then you're going to fold it over, and then over again, a nice tight fold around the edge. And then I take my bone folder and then go across the top like this and the edges to get a nice crisp edge all around. And then I put some adhesive on the nearest, as close to the edge as I can get, and then just fold it over, press it down. Okay, that's the first step. Now we'll do our stamping. And like I said, this is a good project for using scraps that you have, and these are some scraps of the Whisper White cardstock that I'm using. And I'll need my piercing mat, because these are, well, actually these are rubber stamps, so I don't really need my piercing mat for these. But I use my piercing mat for everything. But this stamp set is Papillon Potpourri. It's kind of hard to say because it's French. And it has two punches that match it. It has a larger butterfly punch and a smaller butterfly punch, and we'll be using both of those today once we've done our stamping. So I'm going to go ahead. I've got the larger butterfly. I'm using this one with the floral, and I'm using the smaller butterfly, the smaller floral. I'll be using Watermelon Wonder ink, and I'm going to stamp the larger butterfly on this larger piece of scrap. And I'm going to stamp the smaller butterfly on the smaller piece of scrap. Okay, now we're ready to use our punches. And let's see, here's the larger punch. And because these are on a strip, it makes it real easy to put it in there and line it up. And it takes a little bit to make sure you have everything where it needs to be. And then here's the smaller punch. Actually, I was supposed to stamp 2 of those. So let me get my ink back out. I forgot that I needed 2 of the smaller ones. That's easy enough to fix. Now we'll stamp the, we'll cut out the, punch them out. Now before we put these butterflies on our pad, I wanted to add the decorative strip to give it a little more dimension. For the decorative strip, we're going to use a 8.5 by 11 cardstock, a Watermelon Wonder, and we're going to, on the edge here, we're going to mark along 1/8 inch from the edge, and that would be 8 3/8. And then we're going to mark 1/8 over, which would be 8 1/4. And this is just giving us a little decorative embossing look to our cardstock. Now we're done with our scoring board. I'm going to take our paper trimmer, and where we've scored, we're going to cut off a 1/2 inch. So our strip will end up being a 1/2 inch wide. And we don't really need all of this. This will actually do 2. So we're going to cut this at 5 inches, which is the width of our pad. Then we'll have another one for another pad that we make. So we have our pad now, and we're going to put on our decorative piece. Now you can either put it where it's a valley or a hill, whichever you prefer. If you like it where it's sticking out, you can use that. If you like it where it's sticking in, I'm going to do it so that it's sticking out. And I'm going to put it about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. So let me get some adhesive on it. You don't have to use fast fuse, but I have it here, so I'm just going to use fast fuse, and I know it will stick. So 1/8 inch from the bottom. Okay, now we're ready to put our butterflies on. And for that I'm using glue dots. And I'm going to put them across the body about midway. And I'm going to use 3 because I want to make sure that it stays on. So you can see 1, 2, 3. And then I want to get this right in the middle. of my pad. The wing sticking over just a little bit, but you can put it further up if you want. And then for these I'm going to put 2 glue dots, one on each side of the wings. You can see 1, 2. And these I'm going to kind of put at an angle, just a slight angle, kind of halfway from this wing to the edge. Now we're going to put our pearls on our butterfly, and I'm using the pearls. These are Jewel's Basic Pearl, and these pearls are all connected together. So I cut the paper. I cut 3 of them, and I'm going to pick them all up at one time, hopefully. And I'm going to put them on the large butterfly in the middle. Okay, and I'm using my paper piercing tool. Now for the little butterflies, I'm going to use some of these tiny little pearls here. And I'm going to put where it looks like a figure 8, where the 8 meets in the joint, where they join. Or it almost kind of looks like an infinity, where the X forms on the infinity part of the butterfly. Okay, so we have our pad now, and you can alter this depending on the size of pad you want to use. You can use a bigger piece of paper or a bigger scrap. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.